welcome back to the tiny house build. I know it's been a few weeks since I last updated, and that's just because I've had so much going on, and then also there's been a lot of downtime on the tiny house just because I'm basically done with the exterior. I'm actually doing the trim right now. Oh my god, it's so windy. Why is it always so windy here? But anyway, I've really just been taking time trying to map out how I want the inside, trying to map out how I want the interior, because I'm building a loft and a bathroom, and I just have to really make sure that I plan everything accordingly right now. Otherwise, it'll just be a big disaster in the future if I make a mistake, because you have to plan everything out, where the electrical and all the wires, since it's technically going to be connected to the main house. So I'm just really making sure that it all works out. So that's why there hasn't really been an update, just been doing some little stuff as you will see in this video. But yeah, I'm excited to be back at it with another tiny house update. And if you guys are missing the tiny house updates, head over to my TikTok, because I post a new video there every single day, so you can get your tiny house fixed. But like I said, we're about to start working on the trim, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I had to do was start covering up the eaves on the roof of the tiny house, because right now it was just all the open rafters where insects and critters can get in there and make nests and all sort of nasty stuff. So all I had to do was mark out all my dimensions onto my plywood, and all I needed for this was 1/2 inch plywood. But once I had all my dimensions marked out, I just used my skill saw to make this cut. Once I had it all cut, I took it over to the eave and I just slipped it underneath the rafters and put a mark where each rafter was. So when I flip it up onto the rafters, I know exactly where all of them are and where I can shoot my nails into. Once I had it all marked out, I just slipped it right on up there, grabbed my nail gun, and shot it all into place. Once this first eave was all complete, I went over and started the exact same process on the sides and the back of the tiny house. So once again, I just marked it all out on my plywood, made the cut, took it over to the overhang, and just shot it all in place. So now that I had all my eaves covered, I went ahead and took some wood putty and just started filling all the nail holes. So that way when I paint it, it looks like one smooth, nice, even surface. So for this, literally all you do is put the putty in the hole, use a putty knife to smooth it out, and then I took some 320 grit sandpaper and just hand sanded it down until it was nice and smooth. Then it was time to paint, and as always, I just use a sponge roller for all of this because I found it gives it the most professional looking finish. So I just started painting, and I'm using the shade Chantilly Lace by Benjamin Moore, and it's the exact same shade I've used for the entire house. It's just a super nice white that's not too bright but not too yellow. For all the trim, I'm using PVC trim, so obviously it's 100% waterproof, don't have to worry about wood rot, it's lightweight, easy to work with, So it was a little bit more expensive, but only by a couple dollars. So it was worth it for me. As far as my eye is concerned, it's a lot better. My vision is almost back to normal. It's still kind of blurry, but a million times better than it was. This stuff smells so weird when you cut it. At this point, I started doing all the trim work, and basically before laying the trim down, I decided to put some flashing tape on all the cracks, so that way if any water drips behind the trim, it's not going inside the house onto the wood. So on any exposed wood area, on the corners, any seams or anything, I just put this flashing tape just to be safe. Once all the tape was up there, it was time to start installing the trim, and I started out with the top piece, and I'm having it overhang the side pieces by a little bit. So I just set it up there, made sure it was nice and straight, and then I just used my finish nailer to lock it all into place. And the reason I'm using a finish nailer is because I tried to use a regular nail gun and the nails went straight through this trim because it's PVC. So I found that the finish nailer holds it all in place nicely and doesn't shoot through it. But once it was up there, I just double checked one more time to make sure it was straight and even with the ground, which it was, and that is where I left it off. Okay, so this is how it's looking right now. I forgot to film me putting on the corner trim right here, but it was just like the trim around the door, the same process of cutting it and then just nailing it on each corner, then just using the finish nailer to stick it on up there. And I decided to have it go all the way down to the ground because it covers the cinder blocks and it just looks kind of cool, almost like it's sitting on stilts. But yeah, and then I haven't nailed this piece in yet, that's why it's all floppy, but you get the idea. The top piece overhangs the side pieces a little bit because supposedly that's modern. But yeah, this is how it's looking now. And I'm gonna paint that. And here comes the street sweeper, of course, while I'm filming, but here's one more good look at the entire house. That is going to wrap up the tiny home update for this week. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I know it was a shorter update, but like I said before, not much has been going on lately. Just little stuff that's kind of boring and just trying to map out how I want the floor plan to be and just figure everything out, which is probably the hardest thing I've done yet because I'm the most indecisive person in the world. So it's difficult trying to pick where I want everything because it's going to be permanent. It has to be the logical place where all the fixtures and everything will work out. So I'm just trying to triple check so I don't do anything wrong, and then that would just really suck if I put something in the wrong spot and then I had to tear it down and blah blah blah. But oh my gosh, he like opened the door. Can I help you, sir? Okay. This dog is seriously so old. His name's Benny, but he's literally senile. Like, he kind of just does this all day now. It's sad. He's like 16 years old and he just kind of walks around in circles like this, not really knowing where he is. It's sad, but oh god, is he gonna throw up? Benny? What are you doing? See, like, what is he doing? Okay. Well, anyway, I'm gonna wrap up the video there. Like I said, I hope you guys did enjoy this tiny home update. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on all the post notifications. Hey! What are you doing? But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.